Hey guys, just pulled up here for lunch and I'm going to show you how easy it is to set up a little bench and cook some noodles for lunch with the induction cooker. So, it's kind of a bit windy here. Yeah, trying to pull that behind a tree out of the wind. But basically I've got my IGT bench here. Pull out a couple of legs. A lot of people have been asking how we connect this bench onto the truck, and I'm just using this little IGT bracket, same as this one here. It's a Drifta IGT bracket. So this extension bench comes with the little hooks, so I just hooked it on. Works so good because you only need to set up 2 legs and it's super stable as well. In the back of my drawer here, got induction cooker, just a little single burner. Now you actually don't need twin 125 lithiums to run this. You need something that'll run up to 200 amps at a time, and Safari's now got a battery that'll do that. That'll run up to 200 amps out of a single 105 amp battery. Or you could also, some of the 200 amp hour batteries will work as well. Turn the inverter on. That's ready to go. So let's get a billy or a saucepan. Bit of water. Now this is my job, getting this ready, and then Darunee's going to make some noodles. Alright, bit of water. And turning on. And instantaneous starts to heat up. 180 amps, sucked a fair bit of power, but that's alright. That's it. Got enough water? Righto, so that's what we do for lunch often. That's the Snow Peak extension bench, CK116T. These are our own Drifta extension legs. You can get these little single burner induction cookers from Safari as well. Righto. Yeah, so while we're just driving along, I thought I'd mention that yeah, a few people have been asking me how am I liking, you know, just camping with or travelling with the vehicle solo without the trailer, and you know, I did that for a long time too. I travelled all around Australia. Twice really, vehicle based without a trailer, and you know, I've only had trailers for 8 years, and so I'm only going back to what I was doing before, and yeah, no, a little bit different. I mean, I was really into the trailers for a while, and it's a bit different then. I had tied up as a young boy, and you have kids. You've got kids, it's different because you got, you know, more of the back seat taken up, and really, I mean, no one's got to tow a trailer just because they can or they want to, you know, it's only because you need the room. And if you got 1, 2, 3 kids, you really got to start to look at towing some sort of trailer for a bit extra room. But just the 2 of us now, me and Darunee. Tyler's doing his own thing, and he's up Cape York at the moment. So we've got a little bit more room. We've got the back seat that we can use, and there's just no need for us to tow the trailers. You know, I have kept one of the dots, but so yeah, I mean the 76 is set up pretty good. And but the big thing with us was you know, the rooftop tent as well. We've got that, so with just an Oz 10 on the riff rack and the double swag, and that's fine. We've done a lot of that, and I've travelled and camped with an Oz 10 many times. But my back's been playing up a fair bit lately, and it's been giving me a hard time for a long time, and bending down and rolling up a swag and rolling up an Oz 10, when you bend over a lot and setting it up, starting to worry my back a lot more now, a lot more than it used to. As you get a bit older, it's giving me a bit of grief lately. So we would have done that, but the rooftop tent's come along at a good time, really, and we're able to get away in this trip and really try it out. This is the first time I've had a rooftop tent vehicle based, and there's really nothing I could have put on before. Wasn't that impressed with the alley cabs. We mucked around with those for a while, but those style clamshells, it's still quite heavy and not really good mattress. Like I said, we played around with those for a lot, and which led to me creating the big rooftop tent for the trailers. But there's a lot of those clamshell type ones out there, but this little one we got in now, the Drifta Wildlands rooftop tent, it's very slim, very light, and with a bit of muck around I've done on the mattress, it's absolute duck's cuts, so I mean, at the end of the day, having a good mattress and a good night's sleep is really important, and we'll talk more about the mattress again later on. I'll show you more when I get home, but nothing wrong with the mattress, and everybody's got different needs as to how much comfort they need in a mattress. I don't need a thicker mattress because of my back. I mean, I could lie flat on anything, but it is nice to have that comfortable sleep, and the eggshell foam is by far the most comfortable for the weight it takes, for the space it takes up. Anyway, so I've been loving this setup. Slim down a lot in what we take. The fire pits are basic. That's the first thing to pack in. I'm taking the fire table because it's very light as well. It's a lightweight fire table, and it's the basis of our cooking. It just gives you a shelf, a fireproof shelf all the way around your fire pits. That's really good. A couple of small tables, chairs, and we've got an alley box in the back. We've got our fridge, and the other big thing with the rooftop tent is I've got some space up there. Max truck, shovel, a bag, with gear in it. So it's really good to have some space up there for extra gear. And Kaido's got this suspension still dialed up very soft for when he was down Tasmania with the Action Boys, and so it's very soft suspension at the moment. It's got the BP51 adjustable shocks on it, and beautiful for these roads, but no problems having that weight up on the roof. 50 kilos for the tent, and I've got the awning, another 15, 16 kilos, another at least 20 kilos on top of that. So it's handling it fine. I'm not worried about the weight up there. It's handling really nice, and I drove troopies for a long time as well. Well over 10 years I had a troopie. I had 5 different troop carriers, and they're a very high truck, and with a big roof rack, steel roof rack, and a lot of gear on top of that. So I'm used to having a bit of sway on the vehicle. We'll do a little. I'll pull out the gear later on. I'll pull up the camp and show you, what gear we've taken, because we do have a lot less space. So we've got to be careful what we pack and make sure we're only taking things that we're going to use. And pretty much got it right. This trip, there's nothing really that we're not using. And one thing though is we've had a lot of wind the last few days, and you really need to put your back to the wind. So I'm having to put the back of the rooftop tent to the wind, which means that I'm working off the driver's side. So I'm using the awning as an option with the rooftop tent, and it's just big enough. It'd be nice to have a little bit more room. We'll muck around with it later. But we've been working off the driver's side, which I've never done before, used to always, camp on the passenger side underneath the rapid wing. But because we've got this rooftop tent and the awning comes off the front of it, and we're in the lee of the wind on the driver's side, I haven't really, only the first night we used the rapid wing, and it was pouring rain and we set up a bit late. So I'm not sure on the next trip we might even, I might even be able to pull the rapid wing off. I'm just thinking about that. Take it off, save a little bit of weight, and maybe put one of our Stockton en-suites that are coming. I've got a nice big wide en-suite. It's about 1200 wide, so we can look at putting one of those on, and then I'll just run a little Stockton 1.4 straight awning off the back, because I need a bit of coverage off the back. So at the moment, I've got nowhere for an en-suite, and that's been fine. We've been just bush camping on our own, no one's around. If we're going to pull up in a caravan park, it'd be, you need a bit more privacy, say. But we just haven't needed it. No problems walking off in the bush with a shovel and, down the dunny. So, and for showers, we're not carrying any shower equipment. We've got a bucket, we've got plenty of water. And it's amazing, you can have a good wash just with, a cloth and a bucket of water, but we haven't needed to. We've just been having, had a couple of showers just at caravan park. So, Poonkerry, there was showers at Poonkerry there, and $1 coin in the door, and that was enough for a 5-minute shower. So me and Darunee both had a shower there. That was pretty good. Well, actually, that's the only time I've had a shower. It's been a week, so I've had a couple of washes just with a bucket and a cloth. But when you've got a trailer, it gets a little bit endless. You've got the second fridge, all this gear, the shower, and then you're having a shower, you got to set it all up. You got extra gas, you got a lot of extra water, and then you use a lot of water, so then you're trying to fill up water again. So it just sort of becomes a little bit endless, And you probably see the extent of that too with the E-Dot, where we've got an ice machine and we're just mucking around, seeing what's possible. But I've always been, I used to do a lot of hiking, and at the end of the day, the hikers make the best campers, because when you're hiking, you've got everything on your back. And we did a lot of canoe camping too when Kyla was young, which means you can take a little bit more gear. But if you've ever been hiking, you know exactly what you do need, what you don't need, because you've got to carry every bit of it, and you know exactly what you need to actually survive and be comfortable. So, I've done a lot of hiking in the past and in the army, and I often say, the hikers make the best campers, because otherwise you end up just taking endless amounts of gear. And so a few people said, it looks like I've got a lot of gear on this trip, but we've got some nice cooking gear, but it all packs away. And if you have a look in the back later on too, I've got a vertical drawer, so I've got hardly, I got a 1.5 foot of height for all my camping gear in the back, so I don't have much room, but it all packs down and packs in really well. So we've got a light setup, a compact setup, and we're still able to carry some nice gear, because at the end of the day when you're travelling camping, it's about travelling and seeing the new places and new areas and new experiences, but also it's about the food. And if you want to be able to pull up and quickly set up a nice campsite windy and around, you get to the weir and you can cross the weir and then get on the river itself. Oh, there's kilometres of the most beautiful campsites there, and yes, awesome, beautiful spot. So that's one of our nicest camps. We had Ben and Libby rock up, friends of ours that are working for us. They got a troopy travelling around, and we bumped into them at Menindee, so that was good to have a bit of company. Righto, no worries, thanks guys. I normally just open that up. I've still got to pull this out, but that's enough for the moment. Now I can throw all this stuff in there, up out of the way. Couple of pillows, and now I can get the ladder going. This pag's great. PVC on the bottom. This goes there. And I haven't been worrying about hooking it on. I'm just sitting it like that. This is really all you need to do. It doesn't have to actually hook on. See, I just leave it like that. Set up in here. There's 2 spreader bars, so you get your first one and then tighten up the second one. You want to get this second one nice and tight. And that's it, tensed up. It's probably going to be a bit of rain tonight, so I'll quickly throw this up as well. Show you how quick that is. So it just clips on real easy. So that's over here. Now what I've been doing with these ropes, got a little short spigot on it, so what you want to do, rather than just put it like that, you want to go around the pole, underneath the rope, and then back over top. So it forms a small half hitch. You see that? And then any weight pulling down is going to hold that down on top. Right. because it's very quick to set up. This awning's been great. Right, so around the pole, back under itself, then on top. Pull him up tight. Soft soil here. Alright, 2. Round underneath over top. Alright, so we've got awning set up. And what we can do is get the fire. I'll set that up there. Okay. There, you can see there. And I've got my firelighters here, nice and handy. It's been raining, so everything's a little damp at the moment. So I'll just chuck a firelighter in here. Easiest way to light a fire. Like that. It's great to be camping when there's heaps of wood around. Alright, so that's good. Not too much around here, but nice bit of wood that one. Alright, fire's going. I'll get the fire table set up. A couple of latches here. Very light this. So it's a bit of a luxury to have, but also it's so essential for us the way we're cooking and doing things. So lock the legs together. That's it. Okay, just go right there. Okay, and we'll do what we did last night and have get this little extension bench out. So we had no lunch stop. Alright, good hook in there. Righto, we're not far off being ready to go. Need charcoal. I think I can hear a train coming. There's camp very close to the train tracks. You know what's this here? Two of these. Right. On the timber. I'll get my charcoal on. See if I can get this done before the train comes. And new beer. Camp set up, basically. Just in time. Okay guys, pulling up here in the afternoon. Yeah, about 5 o'clock on our 5th night, I think, camping. And I'm just going to show you what I've got packed in the truck and what we've sort of taken on this trip. So, it'll take about 5 minutes. And got the rubbish bag on the back there for rubbish. I've got a couple of our buckets. These PVC buckets are really handy. I've got 2 of those, one for washing up, one for washing up and rubbish bucket. I've got 2 jerry can holders here. I've got half a bag of charcoal and a little jerry can in there as well. So 10 litre jerry can, a bit of ash on it. This one here I've got basically firewood. So always good to carry a bit of firewood. I've got heaps of firewood here tonight. Got a couple of chairs. These are just the Uniflame chairs. I shouldn't have bought these. I should have bought some of our little red snow peak chairs, but I just didn't have them at the time. In a big rush to pack up. This little chainsaw's been brilliant. MSA 200C, just exactly what you need, nice and light. I've been carrying it up in the top bag there, but I've been using it a fair bit as well, so I've just been chucking in the back here. A couple of Drifta stocks and sleeping bags. Alright, now we've got up in the rooftop tent there's 2 woolen blankets and an electric 12-volt blanket, so we're only really using one of these sleeping bags, so probably didn't need to bring the other one. I've got 2 of them at the moment. What I'll do as well when I pull some of this out, just put this little shelf up because I don't want to chuckle this on the ground, it's a bit wet here. So I can put a couple of my things on there. In the back here I've got a couple of these flat tie pillows. These are really nice just for a bit of extra support on your back sitting at camp, or also we'll put our little pillow on top of that, so just a bit extra so you can sit up and, you know, if you want to read in bed or something. This is the awning for the rooftop tent. There's the fire pit. This is Darunee's little cook pot, so that's to make the sticky rice, so she's got to have that. But it's not a bad little set because packs up good. Actually, we could fit the rice inside that pot now, you know. And we're carrying, you know, 10 kilos of rice, so you've got heaps of food. Thai cook pot, wouldn't go anywhere without that. Brilliant bit of kit. It's a little Snow Peak camp oven, just a small one. And this is the black racks. I've been using those. Great little universal bit of gear. Actually, the first night we had some wet, you know, my boots were soaking wet and my socks were wet, so we had these set up over the top of the charcoal and dried a bit of gear out. They were quite good. So a couple of black racks. That's the Uniflame fire table. So this is a rip a bit of gear. And these boot liner bags, they make the best little seats. So you put that on your chair and it's, you know, nice and warm. This is the Drifta fire table. And we've got the little coffee table, fits in there as well. So that packs in nice. The 2-unit Snow Peak chopboard, very versatile. Darunee can sit that on her knees when she's sitting in a chair and use that for preparation. Goes in an angle table. Very versatile chopboard and lightweight as well. Got our fridge here. Just a 45 Ingle, works pretty good. Well, it works brilliant. Got my legs, IGT legs in here, axe and a silky. That just tucks in there. And with the drawers, I've just got all my basic, you know, drawer stuff up in here, spare parts, radios, gas, zip ties, some tools, all the little bits and pieces up in here. These things have been brilliant. It's a new gas torch, works off these cans, so you can just leave it on, it sits in there like that. It's a really secure connection, and, you know, set it down easy. So they've been great. Got IGT there. This is a new one. That's my IGT 3 with the Drifta infills. These are so good, really light and really versatile. Look at that. So you can do almost anything you like with it. And good thing with these little checker plate infills are made up is you can stack them together, and you hardly know that you've got 2 or 3 there, so that works really good. In the drawers, our kitchen drawer, so we've got a little gas stove. That's the GS 450 stove that fits in the infill. Might show that later on. Darren's got a bit of washing up to do for lunch. But we've got a induction ready fry pan and a saucepan. washing up tub, you know, your tongs, really important, your fire tongs, little toaster. That's a little zebra set. Let's see, we haven't used these bowls, these two yet. You only need two, I don't know why we bought four. But these plates are really nice. That's a little zebra duo set. So 2 plates and 2 bowls. Go inside a little bag, and that's, you know, nice set for your plates. Fillies. I use this for a cutlery. It's a Snow Peak little mesh case, and that's been great. Just cutleries in there, nice and slim, and chuck it in anywhere. I use these a lot. Uniflame, or Snow Peak does those too, little Sierra cups, they're great. So all our kitchen gear in here. Dunny bag, the all important dunny bag, and shovel, you need that, and plenty of toilet paper, and I've got a lighter, so you light toilet paper. Make sure it's all buried nicely. Just a bit of spare gear. I've got my little lights as well that I've been sticking on the side of the roof rack, so these have been great, the Drifta magnetic light strip. And that's pretty much the gear. In the back of the truck, yeah, it's very cold out here, so we've got a few jackets sitting in the back here. There's my ladder, set that up in a sec. We've got a bag in here with just extra pieces, you know, bit of wine and jackets and things. The little Drifta cooler bag's been good for your fruit and veggies, so that's been awesome. Just sits there, sitting on the picnic blanket, so we can pull that out if we need to for a lunch stop. But this little cooler bag's, yeah, ideal for fruits and veggies. I've got my dryers of bone tucked in here. My computer, laptop in there. This is the Drifta windscreen. The windscreen protector. That's a great bit of kit. You know, had Velcro on there. I just cut that off this morning because it was, you know, picking up all the burrs. But that's a great little mat. So Darunee's been using that to get changed on in the morning. So I'll chuck that over here. But it's a great bit of kit, that. Me and Darunee both got one of these bags, so that's what we basically travel everywhere with. If it's overseas, Thailand, interstate, we just got one of those each. I love this bag. It's, you know, it carries like a suitcase. So that goes on the front seat. Darunee's got hers, goes on the passenger side. On the other side here, we've got allier box. So I think it's a 73 allier box that sits there. Got some bags inside. Really important to have the bags inside the allier box so that, you know, tin cans and bottles, glass jars not rattling against the allier box, because it's aluminium, and any little jar rattling is drives you nuts. So we've got everything inside the allier box bags, which is great. That's it really. On the top, yeah, I've got my shovel, 3 tread pros from ARB, and up the top bag there I've got my chainsaw bag, half a carton of 4X, and my recovery gear as well. So I've got all my recovery gear up the top there, so it's always very accessible, and just a little bit of spare gear, small bag of spare gear. So I've got my spare gear up there, up on the rack, and that stays there all the time. I don't need to take that off. I've got the Ungra table on this side now. So, same size as the tent. I just screwed the bracket on this morning with the drill. And yeah, out of the wind, and little GS 450 fits in there. Great little stove. That's the little bracket there. And Darunee's cooked up nice little brekkie. Got the coffee going. Nice morning. Gosford Superstore, and got the map out. So this is the trip we did. Started at Mum's farm here in Orange, got across to Forbes, and then it was our first night. A little state forest there. It's hard to see, but here's a great little spot. Then come down to Awning, like a cool little town. Across here to Hillston. A few closed roads around here, so we managed to get down here. And we sort of zigzagged up and around, and we across here. Second night. It's only a little rest stop on the side of the road, but very quiet road, so that was good. Third night, just the other side of Mungo. Just out here, just pulled off in the scrub. Fourth night we stayed here at Wyndham Station with some friends of ours. Went up to Broken Hill. Halfway to Broken Hill, ran into a massive sandstorm blowing 50-60 k's from the west, so didn't stay long. Come out and stayed at an awesome camp on the Darling River. So went past one of the lakes, up here and around, and we're on basically on the Wilcannia Road. This one here, on the Menindee Wilcannia Road, and just here on the eastern side of the river. Heaps of spots, beautiful camping there. And we headed this way towards Ivanhoe. It's a gorgeous drive through here. Beautiful drive to Ivanhoe. Lovely country, and this was almost the highlight of the trip. East of Ivanhoe, down this little track. Got to here. From here the road looks like there's no track, but there's a railway line going across here. And we basically followed the railway line. There's a track there through this Nombini State Conservation Area. So follow that right across. That was brilliant. And we camped in the scrub there. And then from there, we drove all the way through Condo, beautiful little town, Condobolin, back into Forbes, along the Lachlan River, gorgeous country. I mean, this is sort of southwest New South Wales, just some beautiful country out there. And we went all the way back to Gosford where we stayed. So a bit of a big drive yesterday, but other than that, it was yeah, some great travelling. Righto, no worries.